Hi, this is Rudy Jones. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball Recap for Tuesday, April the 14th. This is part of my coverage of college baseball in the state of South Carolina at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. There were 15 games involving state teams played on Tuesday, including several in-state matchups. Let's take a look at what was going on. Up in Charlotte, Jacob Jarrell hit a three-run homer as part of a six-run first inning, and Clemson held on to beat Charlotte by a score of 7-3. Tigers improved to 24-14, and Charlotte dropped to 18-18. The Niners loaded the bases in the bottom of the eighth inning, but Ariston Veazey came in and struck out the three batters he faced to quell that threat, and the Tigers got out of it in the ninth. For Clemson, Jackson Moore had a single, a double, and two RBI as they won that game up in Charlotte. Down in Columbia, Will Craddock, Talmadge Leroy, and KJ Scobie homered in the first inning, but South Carolina needed a pair of infield singles in the fourth inning by LaCroix and Tyler Bach to snap Davidson's six-game winning streak. The final score was 8-6. Carolina was off to a 5-1 lead after an inning, but they gave up 4 runs in the second, and the Wildcats even took a 6-5 lead before Carolina pulled back to win. Gamecocks ended even their record at 19-19 as they won their fourth straight game. Davidson had a 6-game winning streak snap. They're now 18-16. For the Gamecocks, Logan Prisco got the win. He went 2 1/3 innings in relief, and he struck out 5. Gamecocks pitchers struck out 12. Over in Wofford, Ben Timlin hit 2 of Wofford's 5 home runs as the Terriers pounded Presbyterian by a score of 11-2 at Russell C. King Field. The Terriers improved to 26-11. PC fell to 8-30. For Wofford, Brady Gold had a single, a double, a homer, and drove in 3 runs. Elsewhere, Connor Frail and 2 relievers combined to shut out USC Upstate, and College of Charleston won its 6th straight game. The Spartans fell to 19-18. College of Charleston improved to 17-19. As I say, they won 6 straight games. For the Cougars, Will Tibbett had a 2-run homer, and he also scored another run for 2 runs that he scored. Up in Nielsen Field at Charleston, the Citadel scored 11 runs in the 5th inning and got a run rule win over Charleston Southern by a score of 15-5. The Bulldogs improved their record to 17-19 as they snapped a 3-game losing streak they suffered at Wofford over the weekend. Charleston Southern fell to 21-14. Zach Hunt's second home run of the game gave the Bulldogs the lead. He added a 2-run single in that 11-run 5th. He wound up with 2 homers, 5 RBIs for the Citadel. Also for the Citadel, Christian Status was 3 for 4 with a double, a run scored, and 3 RBI. North Greenville fell behind 5-0, then rallied to beat Lincoln Memorial by a score of 10-8 up at Harrogate, Tennessee. The the Trailblazers have won 11 straight games. They're now 37-7. Lincoln Memorial fell to 26-16. C.J. Dean had a double, a homer. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and he drove in 3 runs for North Greenville. Robbie Jordan struck out 11 Wingate batters in 8 innings, and Francis Marion won a clash of non-conference clash of ranked teams over Wingate 12-2. The Patriots are now 35-8, and Wingate fell to 30-13. For Francis Marion, Charlie Bussey and Riley Orr homered to help Francis Marion win his 6 straight games. Orr had a single, a homer, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBI for the Patriots. Wake Forest scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning and beat number 7 Coastal Carolina by a score of 10-5. Chanticleers fell to 26-10. Wake Forest improved to 25-13. For Coastal, Jackson Weiner had a single, 2 homers, and he drove in 3 runs. Corey Waters had 3 hits and drove in 3 runs as Winthrop beat Elon by a score of 13-3 up in North Carolina. The Eagles improved to 24-13. Elon fell to 14-22. Also for Winthrop, Alan Benhart was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI. Carew Bates and Ryan Pikatowski homered in Game 1 as USC Sumter beat number 16 Walter State by a score of 18-10, and a doubleheader played up at Mooneyham Field in Spartanburg. But the Senators got the split in the nightcap, winning Game 2 by a score of 5-2. Alex Simmons scored 4 runs, struck out 4 and did not allow an earned run in 4 innings as USC Beaufort beat beat Savannah State 13-4. The Sand Sharks are now 12-28. Savannah State fell to 20-18. Beaufort had a 7-run 7th inning. Maddox Robinson had a hit, a walk, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBI. Coker scored 6 runs in the 4th inning to break a tie, and they survived a comeback bid by UNC Pembroke to beat the Braves by a score of 12-9. Coker's now 12-29. UNC Pembroke fell to 26-15. For Coker, Luke Peterson was 2 for 3 with a run scored and 3 RBI. Toccoa Falls took a big lead early. Claflin came back to tie it, and then Toccoa Falls pulled away for a 19-9 win over the Panthers in a game played over in Northeast Georgia. Toccoa Falls is now 23-18-1. Claflin fell to 4-30. For the Panthers, Devin Whitehead was 2 for 3 with a homer and 3 runs scored. And in the other game played on Tuesday, nationally ranked North Georgia hit 3 home runs to beat Anderson by a score of 10-5. The Nighthawks are now 35-11. Anderson fell to 20-22. A couple of highlights of games outside the state and some upsets. Virginia Commonwealth beat number 9 Virginia by a score of 6-2. We also have number 25 Ole Miss beat number 22 Southern Mississippi 10-3. Number 20 Florida lost to Bethune-Cookman 13-7. And a couple of other scores. The favorite team won. Virginia Tech no-hit Radford 14-0. And number 2 Texas A&M at Houston 10-2. Auburn one-hit Alabama 13-0. Mississippi State lashed Samford 11-1. And in an upset, number 21 UCF fell to Jacksonville by a score of 5-4. You can read all about these games and more at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I try to do game updates during the game on my X handle, which is Palmetto Base, and give details, box scores, etc. after the game. Looking at Wednesday's schedule, not a whole lot going on. Florence Darlington Tech is playing the Columbia International JV at Miller Field at 3 o'clock, and USC Aiken is at Newberry at 6 o'clock for one game. That's it for the South Carolina College Baseball recap for Tuesday, April the 14th. Again, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying, follow me on X at Palmetto Base and read my stories at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. But for now, good night. Jesus loves you.